this one here's simple. So under here you got this bench here. This pulls out into a bed.
Okay.
So this is the fill-in piece. You'll see when I pull it out. And underneath it's a table.
Okay.
And this silver bar is for the table.
Okay.
It just goes in this hole.
Okay.
And then the table sits on top.
Okay.
So that's pretty simple. If you want to just get off here for a sec, I'll show you. So this, here you actually probably want to go. This pulls out.
Oh, cool.
I'll get that into a day bed.
Oh, neat.
And
Okay.
sticks a little bit. So it pulls it into a day bed.
Yeah.
And then under here, there's a red shutoff for the battery. You'll see it. You'll see it right there.
Okay.
I always just turn the batteries off in case there's a slow drain.
Okay.
And you can connect all. The bilge pump bypasses that. So the bilge pump is on regardless. Obviously, if there's a big rainstorm, I'd go check on it anyways, because bilge pumps,
Yeah. They're sometimes.
they only last so long.
Yeah.
So when that's turned on, before you start the boat, you turn on the blower fan for 5-10 minutes or so. Yeah, it blows the gas out. And if you're going slow, like when you're going to dock, I would just turn it on. Like if you're just idling and slowing, like if you're just idling across the lake,
Yeah.
turn on the blower because it sucks the gases out.
Okay.
You don't necessarily have to, but it's better. It's better safe than sorry. You don't want to blow up.
Okay.
To start, so that's on for a bit. To start the boat, I can't start it because we don't have the water hooked up to it right now. Pull the handle up. When you push this button, it disengages the drive.
Okay.
So then you click it forward one click. If you haven't ran it for a while, you can turn it up a little bit, and that kind of automatically chokes the engine.
Okay.
And then you turn the key, and you turn it over one more until the engine fires.
Yeah.
And then after it fires, when you pull this back, see how that popped out? Now it would be in gear.
Okay.
So you get your forward and reverse.
Okay.
And then it's just your steering from there.
Yeah.
Now I have to see if I can remember how all these work. So these are your lights.
Yeah.
So that's your anchor light. So if you watch right where you are, it's gonna pop up.
Oh, okay. This one.
So when you're anchored, you want to make sure at night, if you're just anchored, you only have that light on.
Okay.
If you're driving, you turn it to nav, and that turns on your 2 front lights and this light.
Okay.
Or even at dusk. I forget what the time is.
Okay.
When you do your boat license, it'll tell you.
Yeah.
And then that, it just retracts.
Okay.
The light just retracts back in.
Okay.
It's pretty nice.
So when we're docking, you leave that?
If you're anchored out in the water,
oh, then you leave it up.
You leave it up so someone doesn't run into you, right?
Yeah.
You want them to see you.
Yes.
And then that just turns off. That just turns on your bilge pump. That's your accessory, which gives you your depth gauge.
Okay.
And then these are just your.
So that way.
These are just your lights up and behind here.
Okay.
It just turns on the lights, so you can't see anything because it's.
And so there's a depth gauge right there built in.
So that's a built-in depth gauge.
That's great.
The only thing you ought to run into with the boat is if you're in really seaweedy areas, sometimes the speedometer will get plugged up with seaweed.
Okay.
If it does, if you just kick it into reverse,
okay,
it clears it, and then your speedometer comes back.
Okay.
And then this is your trim.
Yep. To move it up and down.
Now, this button here is for trailering, which if you're going to keep it at the marina, you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
So we'll probably take it out and winterize it.
Yeah.
You hold that button, and it pulls it up higher.
Okay.
Than what it would. Like if you just trim all the way up, it'll stop.
Right.
Because you obviously don't want the boat motor out of the water, but when you hit this one, it pulls it that extra space.
Okay.
You have a sink.
Yeah.
The water filter's just on the outside.
Okay.
It does have a bit of coolant left in the water, so you have to
flush it out.
Run it through.
Yeah.
If you're just using it to wash your hands and dishes,
it's not a
really
big deal.
Big of a deal.
Okay.
There's some dish soap still underneath there.
Okay.
And a bunch of different cleaners for the boat.
Okay.
This is an oil stove.
Okay.
Under here. I've never used it. There's a butane stove in here.
Okay.
Should be in here. And we normally use this guy.
Okay.
We just put them on there. It's just a butane stove. It's a camp stove. It's a lot easier.
Okay.
Then in here, it's pretty simple. You have your windows that you just unscrew.
Yeah.
You pop them open.
Yeah.
You can actually boat if it's not wavy out with those open to keep the breeze.
Yeah.
And the same with here. You can pop this screen down.
Yeah.
These handles and that opens up. And you can tighten it.
That's nice. Okay.
You got storage underneath the covers.
Okay. There's the toilet there.
And then this folds up for the toilet.
Yeah. Okay.
there's blue stuff to mix in with the water. It's a 2-piece toilet, so you just take, you unclip it from the sides.
Yeah.
And you fill the one part up with water.
Yeah.
And then underneath here, when you pull this out, it opens it. So you have to pull that out to use it.
Yeah.
But when you shut that, you can take it out like a suitcase and go dump it out.
Okay. Are there any like manuals or anything?
I have all the manuals in my truck.
Great, perfect.
Yeah. And then there's a couple bottles of hand sanitizer that I just left in here.
Oh, thanks. That's nice.
Yeah, and then just make sure you shut this door when you leave.
Okay.
Because if it does rain, you sometimes get if it's a driving rain like we had yesterday.
Yeah.
A bit of water can get in here.
Yeah.
Around the window.
Okay.
It does get in on the carpet.
Okay.
If the door's open.
Okay.
But there's a drain hole on the floor, and like, it never gets that wet in there, even if this is open.
Okay.
Just, you know, if you have socks on, your socks will go and then that drain hole just runs right out to the side.
Okay.
And like I said, this is your lights. So like you have your floor light, step light here, and everything.
Okay.
You
Yeah,
can't
lights.
see it at night.
So lights.
These are like your
both
on deck lights.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Okay. All right.
And that really covers it. There's all your life jackets, your bail buckets underneath. You have 3 large buoys.
Okay.
Under here, you have your cooler.
Thanks.
That slides right out. You have to just
great.
adjust the seat in the right spot to put it out.
Okay.
And then there's ropes in the side cubby here.
Great.
So there's enough ropes to tie it up to the dock.
Perfect.
I always recommend just going and getting a couple more ropes.
Just to have.
Just new ones. I always would replace them every couple of years.
So if we leave it at the marina, what should we cover up?
If you have an open slip,
Yeah.
I would put this on it.
Okay. Snap that in.
Like I said, some water always gets through boat covers. There's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
Right? But it's made for water.
Yeah. Yep.
And this boat has drains everywhere. Like every trap, every tray in the floor has a drain to the outside.
Oh, great.
It's like no water ever gets to the hull anyways when it rains.
That's
right?
great.
It just drains out the drain holes.
Yeah, that's great.
I have the boat plug in my truck, and I'll show you where it goes in
Okay.
before you leave.
Okay.
Yeah, and when I throw this cover on, I'll show you the water.
Okay.
And the gas is just on the back
Great.
driver's side corner.
Okay.
I think that pretty well covers this boat. There's not, like I said, there's not a ton to it. This bimini, these just come off.
Yeah.
It's not, this side's not connected because I'll fold it back down after I cover it for when you're driving.
Yeah.
But this bimini opens up. This clips to it.
Yeah.
I always wrapped it around the bar once.
Yeah.
This button. Because if you just click it straight to it, you get a strong breeze, it pops open.
Okay.
But if you wrap it around the bar once and click it, it doesn't come off, right? Because it changes the pressure on the snap to the side.
Okay, great.
And you can drive slowly with the front bimini open or the back bimini open. You don't have to open both.
Okay.
If you don't want to. And then this turns into stairs.
Oh, if people want to get up on the
That
top.
goes into stairs.
Oh, that's cool.
And then you have an anchor.
Yeah.
The biggest claw anchor that will fit in the front of the boat
Okay, great.
is in the front there with a rope.
Okay, great.
You just tie it to the hook on the front and away you go.
Okay.
Or there's a hook inside. You'll see there's holes for it to pop through.
Okay.
It's a good anchor. It's good for everything.
That's wonderful.
So I don't know what the water's like in Kingston.
Yeah.
Like there are anchors that are better for sand and weeds, but that one's kind of
for everything.
Yeah, it hooks good into everything.
Great.
So
okay. Okay, I'll turn this off and then we can snap it in now. Is that
yeah,
what we're gonna do?
we'll get it all closed up. I guess it'd probably be all rock in Kingston though, wouldn't it?
Mostly.
For the most part, when you
yeah.
start going up a little.